There are a few lies in fitness that are literally making guys waste years trying to build a physique that they could build much faster. Most of these lies come from bodybuilding. Now, bodybuilding is a sport. If you want to be a bodybuilder, to go compete on stage, become a mass monster, that's a different game. But most of you guys don't want that. Most of you just want a body that you love living in. You want to take your shirt off and your cheek gets turned on immediately. You want to look in the mirror and like what you see. You want your self-esteem to go up. You want to look strong in clothes and shredded without them. And still have time, energy for your business, your career, your relationships, your life. And if that's what you want, there are 5 lies you need to stop believing. Lie number 1, you need to bulk for 6 months or 1 year or 2 years and then get shredded. This is probably one of the most common ones. Guys think they have to bulk. And when I say bulk, they think they have to get bulky. They have to gain as much weight as possible, gain muscle, gain fat, become huge. And then one day they are going to cut everything down and finally reveal this amazing physique underneath. Why? Are you going on a bodybuilding stage? Are you competing against those mass monsters? Probably not. Even if you wanted more of a fitness athlete physique, what do you really need? You need to get shredded. You need to be proportional. You need enough muscle in the right places. But most of you don't even want to compete. You just want to look fucking good. And for that, the first thing I would do is just get shredded. First, get to around 12% of body fat, where your abs are clearly coming through. And if you still have something sitting on your waist, at that level, you want that completely shredded look, go closer towards 10%. Get lean first and build up from there. Because here is I don't understand about that dirty bulking stuff. Why would you intentionally make yourself fat? When you gain fat, your fat cells expand. And when you gain enough of excess body fat, the body can also increase the number of fat cells. When you cut again, those fat cells, they mostly shrink. They don't just magically disappear because you decided the bulk is finished. So why the f would you deliberately be manufacturing fat? It has zero ROI. That's why for myself, and especially for a guy who wants to build muscle, I would never intentionally let myself go way above 15% of body fat. You want to get shredded first, and then you lean bulk afterward. You build muscle, perhaps your weight goes up a little bit more slowly, but you are building lean, quality muscle. And you can stay looking good while you are bulking. You don't need to ruin your physique for 9 months just so you can look good for 6 weeks after a cut. The fuck? And especially when you're over 30, you already know this. Things are not exactly the same when you was in your 19 or when you was 20. You go on holiday, you take it easy for a couple of weeks, you eat whatever goes, stop paying attention, right? And suddenly you're coming back with something around your waist that can take you months to get rid of. If you allow that lifestyle to continue, and why create that problem in the first place? Get shredded, stay relatively lean, and then build from there. And here is another thing. People think they need to bulk much. But really, think about the physiques most normal men actually find impressive. Think about the movies that likely inspired you since childhood, like those Hollywood stars. That is literally one of the things that motivated me to start training when I was young. You watch some movie and you see that physique and you think, damn, that's what they want. When you really look at Hollywood actors that been in those movies, think of Brad Pitt in Fight Club. He is 5'11", they're around 155 pounds. Think of Zac Efron in Baywatch. He is 5'10", his weight was 165 pounds. Think of Ryan Reynolds from Blade, Trinity. He was 6'2", his weight was 190 pounds. Christian Bale from American Psycho. He is 6 feet. He is my height, 183 centimeters. His weight was 180 pounds max, 81 kilos. Jean-Claude Van Damme in Kickboxer. This inspired me to train. 175 centimeters, 5'9". His weight was just 165 pounds, 5 kilos. The truth is, you don't need an enormous amount of mass to look impressive. You need enough muscle, but you likely already have it. You just need to cut that fat away and reveal it, because you can have more muscle underneath, but if everything is covered by fat, nobody gonna see it. So if your goal is that movie star physique, that athletic shredded body, stop thinking you need to become the normals big first. Get shredded, then build lean muscle while staying in control. And number 2, you need to train for hours to build muscle. This BS, again, comes from bodybuilding. People watch professional bodybuilders, they see all these massive training sessions, they get motivated, and it's cool. They might see them doing some machine exercises, cables, isolation, getting that pump, going for many reps, and they think that's what they actually need to do at the gym as well. But if you really think about those bodybuilders programs, who those programs are designed for, people dedicating their entire lives to bodybuilding, people competing, people whose recovery, food, drugs, sleep, and entire daily schedule can revolve around building muscle, eating as much as possible. And if you're a busy man with a career, business, family, relationships, people depending on you, why should you copy that lifestyle? You don't need to. A lot of you guys do the work that matters at the gym first. You do some compound exercise. And then after that, you add a lot of bullshit. And on the other hand, if you only do what matters, only the exercises that have highest ROI, you can get amazing work done in as quick as 30, 40 minutes, 3 or 4 times per week. And this is more than enough time if you are training with purpose instead of spending hours scrolling in between sets. A lot of people be asking, bro, how can I look like you? And usually I would think, man, first you got to set for yourself realistic goals. But at the same time, if you really put in the work, you will be amazed what your body is capable. And I'm not telling you this because I want you to make fitness sound easier so you feel motivated. I'm telling you this because this is literally how I trained my whole life. I've been lifting over 20 years. And if you look at the amount of time I spent doing some kind of random cable exercises and isolation movements compared with the basic heavy lifting, it's 5% max of isolation. Most of my training was built around movements that pay me back. I only been doing pressing, pulling, some rows, pull-ups, squats, heavy leg work, basic shit. Because think about what happens when you're pressing weight. For example, you are doing bench press or incline or dips. You're not only training your chest, your shoulders are working, your triceps is working, you're also stabilizing your body. When you do a hard row, it's not only that your back is working. Of course, a lot of stimulus goes on your back, on your lats, but your biceps is also engaged pretty much. Your core is being stabilized. Even your lower body is involved depending on the variation you're doing. When you squat, what happens? Your quads work, your hams work, your adductors work, your whole core is working. Your whole body has to produce force. And those movements, they pay you back. Can machines and cables build muscle? But if you ask me, these are tools. And they are designed for bodybuilding. Before competition, to reveal every smallest muscle, trying to maximize every last area of their physique. This is specialized work. It's only useful on the cutting phases. But does the average busy guy need 17 exercises to build a physique that look impressive? Shit, no. That's bullshit. So the problem is most people don't need more work, more exercises. They need to cut out the bullshit. Line number 3, you have to do one exercise at a time and rest forever in between sets. You have to take long rests to build muscle. This one changed everything for me. So my whole life I've been doing supersets, compound exercises. And one of the reasons because I really love pushing myself at the gym. And supersets, they also can save you time. You can literally cut your workout time in half. And for somebody like entrepreneur, this is a game changer. So I would go for a set for my chest. And instead of standing there 2-3 minutes, I never done that. I go straight into a set for a back. Because while I'm training my back, guess what? My chest is already resting. It's already recovering. Because when you're training back, this is opposing muscle group. Your chest is not being activated when you're doing some rows or pull-ups. And only after the second exercise, like my back, then I would take maybe 1 minute rest. And then I go back to the set for my chest. And when I'm doing my chest set, my back is still recovering. So I have the same amount of rest, but I cut the workout time. You know what I'm saying? This works also very well when training arms. I'm not gonna be standing around after doing some biceps curl for 2-3 minutes. I go right away to triceps. So I would do some, let's say, hammer curls with dumbbells, and then I go right away into cable push downs. Shoulders can be combined with your traps. You do a set for shoulders, you do a set for traps. They don't go against each other. The only thing I wouldn't superset when I'm doing some heavy squats, because this already taxes your central nervous system pretty much, and that's more than enough. Leg press, the same. I would take that rest, 2-3 minutes. But later, if I'm training front of the leg and back of the leg, I might do it without supersets, but if I am shorter on time, we definitely combine them together because that works. You still get the work done. If you are doing leg extensions, your hams are not being activated. And when you're doing your hams, the back of the leg, front of the leg is not being activated. So you can do one, another, and only after that you rest. And this time, again, you shorter the workout time. Sometimes I would pull up to the gym. and I have 15 or 20 minutes. A lot of people would think that you can't get results training 15 or 20 minutes, but there have been studies made, there have been tests like Colorado experiment and others. People gain solid amount of lean muscle mass when training up to 20 minutes per day for a few times per week, but they've been going intensively instead of scrolling on the phone or resting for too long. So if you had the idea that you have to spend hours in the gym, that's not the case. As far as you're training properly, doing the right work, you can get efficient workout done in as quick as 30 minutes max. And here is another thing about doing those supersets and more intensive training with weights. I've been also doing kickboxing seriously for the past 2 years. I've been training with ex-fighter 3-4 times per week, like religiously. We've been drilling combinations and stuff where you go 10-15 sets with explosive movements, then you rest. Those are really taxing on your conditioning. I've been taking knowledge from people who know what they were doing, winning many fights, and you know what? The guy's been telling me there that they haven't met many people having condition like mine. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that most of the times when somebody see a big muscular guy, they think he cannot move. And I really give all that benefit to supersets. Years of training this way, you build up that skill. So you're not only building your muscle doing supersets and more explosive workouts, you're training your body to work. And that's what most people want. They don't want to be just wooden bodybuilders. They want to be capable. You want to be strong, shredded, and conditioned. You want to be dangerous, not just big in size. That's the game, superset. By the way, if you're already getting value from this video and you want me to personally coach you to get in the best shape of your life, I only work with a limited number of guys at a time. So if you want to apply, click the link below this video, fill out the application, and we'll see if you're a good fit to work together. Now, line number 4, training is gonna make you too tired to perform in your business and career. Now, sometimes I hear this from busy people all the time. I'm already tired, I've got no energy for a workout. Or if I train, I'm not gonna be able to focus on my career or on my business. And this is if you are doing heavy leg sessions over 1 hour. It's often not only that the day is finished. If you spend 1.5 hours destroying yourself with huge amounts of volume, of course, you can come out looking cooked, especially after that brutal leg session. People know this feeling. Or even if you are doing some conditioning work, those group sessions, after 1 hour of intensive work, your brain feels like cabbage. Then you sit at the desk and you're supposed to make important decisions. This is not a reality. And that's definitely not what I am recommending. Quite often I would train 20 to 30 minutes and I would come out with more energy than I had when I walked in. It's not only about physical energy. My mental state would go up. My mood would be up and I would feel sharper to perform, to do the work. Sometimes, if a session was only 20 minutes and I feel like training again later, I would do for another short session of 20 minutes. Because for me, training can be really a stage-changing tool. And if you're an entrepreneur, you understand that. This is a game changer. And you don't have to train so long that the rest of your day becomes recovery from your workout. Again, you're a busy man. Your workout should support the rest of your life. It shouldn't consume it. And I'm never saying to take it easy. Of course, train hard. Push yourself, but understand the difference between intensity and simply making the workout unnecessarily long. These are not the same thing. Line number 5, if you train hard enough, you can make up for a bad diet. Often people would eat some shit previous day and then they think, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna punish myself. They would do extra cardio, they would do some extra work, spend 2 hours or even longer, and guess what? Their big ass belly won't go either way because you cannot out-train a bad diet. Again, I'm not saying you to take it easy. I hate that saying. I'm always going to tell you to push yourself. But if you are the kind of man who gets something like mentally from physical exhaustion, I understand that completely. I am that guy too. But don't confuse that toughness with nutrition. You can find very tough people who train like fucking animals and still don't have the body that they would be happy about. There are many fighters who train a lot. There are even instructors, coaches whose job is cardio. They are tough, insanely conditioned, but they're still fat. Because that training doesn't mean that you're gonna get shredded. Getting shredded is not only about how much punishment you can survive and endure. You have to control what is coming into your body. So when it comes to the diet, first comes your calories. What calories does? They determine whether your body is generally moving up or down in weight. Think about that. If you eat less energy than you are using, you're gonna get small. And if you're eating and you burn throughout the day, you're gonna get bigger. And this works across all mammals. I'll give you an example. I had the kitten. I wanted that motherfucker to grow. I wanted him to be big so that when he grow up, he's gonna go in the streets, and I wanted him to be able to handle every other cat. Know what I mean? So I was giving him double or triple dose of high quality cat food. Guess what? He grew. He became huge and strong. I've been training him a little bit too. When he went outside, knew he was that motherfucker. And why that happens? More fuel equals more growth. These are just the laws of physics. But if you're trying to get ripped, it's not just about the calories. I want you understanding your macros. So there are 3 macronutrients that you have to nail. These are your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fat. The only 3 macros you're going to manipulate. Let's make it simple. Now let's say your cutting calories are 2,500 per day. Your maintenance is 3,000 calories. Now you're cutting 100 calorie deficit. This equals 2,500 calories. The first number you have to lock in is your protein. Go for at least 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. So 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrate, 4 calories. And 1 gram of fat, 9 calories. So protein is the number 1 I lock first because it helps to preserve and build muscle. It's extremely filling and it has the highest thermic effect of the 3 macros. So when I started lifting, I noticed the higher I pushed my protein, the easier it seemed for me to stay muscular and defined while controlling my food. So I made the rule for myself. At least around 200 grams, 120 grams of protein every single day. And they got that in for decades. Now, some days, now I would go for much higher because I also train more. This is a different story, but protein must be locked in. After that, I decide how I want to use carbohydrates and fats. And this is really simple. During the working day, I prefer protein and healthy fat. Why? Because then I can sit there and work. Fats are more filling. You're not getting hungry every 2 hours. You're not thinking about food. If I'm doing content, shooting video like this, I'm doing programs for my clients, doing delivery, making videos, whatever. I don't want my brain thinking about food every 2 hours. And for me, keeping large carbohydrate meals away from the main work period gives me steadier energy. And this really makes appetite easier to control. And then before the workout, make something different. I flip. So protein is staying the same, like in normal meal, but now instead of fat, put fats down and I bring some carbohydrates in. Because this is the time when your body actually use it for fuel. Let's say I'm training around 5 p.m. Then around 1 or 2 p.m. I might have a carbohydrate dense meal. I would usually go for no more than 50 grams of carbohydrates. This is the amount I know I'm gonna burn out throughout the workout. If I'm really gonna go for longer, okay, I might have 70 grams of carb. I want that fuel to be available. But then afterwards, go back into normal structure with fats and protein. This is carbs timing advantage. More about that you can see in other videos. And for me, protein and fats really work well because I'm not getting hungry every 2 minutes and I can stay focused. And a lot of people know this benefit. If you're sitting there thinking, okay, Benas, but what exact number should I be eating? I got you. I created a tool that I'm giving you for free. It's called Physique Code. Basically, all you have to do, you put in your age, your height, your weight, activity level, the goal, your target weight, and you upload the shirtless photo of yourself in a good lighting. What's gonna happen? AI gonna scan your photo and you're gonna get pretty accurate estimate of your current body fat, and you're gonna know exactly how many calories you have to consume, how much of protein you have to consume, and then you can adjust fats and carbohydrates. By the way, you're gonna have the real data specifically done for you. Now I gave you the game. I want you to succeed. If you wanna use it, the link is in the bio. It's completely free. Now go fucking use it. Let's go.